Hello, everybody. Welcome to Quill and Sword, the best D&D show on the internet, in my opinion. That's because of all these great people here. They're all amazing. They make the show great. My name is Bobby Partridge. I am a creative type. I like to do Syrinscape stuff for us, like we were just talking about. So, we love that here for our sound effects and music. But I'm going to just throw it off straight away to these lovely people so they can introduce themselves, where you can find them, and their awesome characters they're playing. Maybe give us a little recap. So, I have my D10, D5. Okay, SENITA, that's you.
Oh, yeah. I'm never first for anything. I'm SENITA D or SENITA. I don't know what. Oh, it's SENITA on here. Okay, my birth name. You can find me on Twitch as well. And what we did was, were we still on the boat?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So we started off our morning on the boat discussing another deal being made that Anu did not make. And it was decided by us to try to circumvent dealing with the vicious by becoming a friend of, what is it, a devil? I don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many. Yeah, the devil. The deal to befriend the devil. And I'm just gonna go to the right. Nope, to the left. There it is. And say Megan next.
Hey everybody. I'm Megan Alnico. I am an author. You can find my books on chromospace.net, and I play Tempest. My very, very dark, trying not to be dark paladin. She just went through a very tough time because all of this stuff about Masquerade and these choices that are being made and these wishes that are being made, they reminded Tempest of the wishes that she made, and how all the stuff worked out for that, which was, in a word, bad. So she had a bad time. But she believes in redemption. Even though sometimes it's hard and you have doubts, she still does believe in redemption. And I think she's probably over some of it. But it's tough. And with that, we'll head on over to the troublemaker and instigator.
Okay, so
and I knew exactly that I didn't even have to say a name.
Big Red tricked me. Can you believe that? We're friends and he tricked me. All right, so he showed up. Actually, I kind of asked him to, because I did say that was how I was going to handle this, because I thought I couldn't possibly cause any trouble if I just wished for him to be my friend. So I called him up and I said, hey, let's hang out, let's become friends. And then he keeps doing this do you wish blank 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 thing to try and trick us into making wishes, and everybody else is doing so great at that, and I was not doing so great at that. And when Big Red went, do you wish to play a game? And I said yes, because I wasn't thinking about the exact wording, and I absolutely should have been.
Even if it wasn't the exact wording, that's freaking Jigsaw right there. Would you like to play a game?
Well, I had fun. On that note, though, I'm going to pass it over to Vera.
Hi, my name's Vera. I have stuff all over the internet. Look for Council of Geeks for the geeky stuff and Vera Wild for the spicy stuff. Wild spelled W-Y-L-D-E. So, yeah, we all had to go on our own little individual games that we had to play. In the case of Wisp, my Fawn Bard, which I play, they got spirited away to play cards with Baba, who is a recurring hag who is nice to some members of the party. But yes, I don't remember everyone's individual games. I apologize, but yeah, we all had to go through these little things, and when we left off, Tempest was talking with a... It wasn't the devil. It was something else, wasn't it? Or was it the devil that Tempest was talking with at the very end?
It was the devil.
Okay. Talking with the devil who sort of identifies himself as the Keeper of Names, or something to that extent. And I do not remember what the last question that Tempest asked was, but I remember Steve was like, and we'll end on that and get an answer next time. And I don't remember what it was. And I would hand it to Marissa, but she wasn't there.
Yeah.
Nim, as all this was going down, Nim scurried off. It was like, nope. Nim
is very smart. Also, Vera, I just want to say that you used the phrase recurring hag, and I'm going to update all my social media profiles with that. So thank you.
Oh, that's great.
So, yeah, okay. With all of that, you guys are all asleep, and Tempest, you have been having this conversation with the devil known as Big Red, affectionately referred to courtesy of Masquerade. And, you know, he asked if you think that everyone can be redeemed.
I think that deep down inside, we can redeem ourselves. Now, if everyone can accept that redemption, and whether we can stick to that redemption is... Well, it's something we have to work at every day. There's no final goal of redemption. Once you put yourself in that hole, you have to make sure that you never fall back down again. So... yes, but it's tough. You have to come to it inside, and you have to come to it outside.
All right. Well, you know, I have never encountered a group quite like yours.
That's not unusual. We have, everyone here is quite unique.
Well, I'll be watching, and if you need a wish... And he sort of grins a little mischievously, and then sort of half salutes you, and when he does, just his fingers are the first thing that start burning away, and pretty soon his entire form in an instant just... whoom, and is gone in a puff of flame and ash.
Well, it could be worse. It could be very much worse. There's probably hope for him.
And as the morning breaks on the coastline, there is a coastline. And Anu, you like to chill out in the crow's nest, so I presume you're probably the first one that sees this.
Yes.
You see up ahead this smoky sort of smog wrapping around this sheer cliffside, and you see spires sticking up out of the cliffs. You see that there is actually what looks like a sort of makeshift dock carved from the stone itself that juts and extends into the ocean side and leads into a cavern of some sort. But this cavern is not... it's not raw, it's hewn, and it has these pillars that are carved to resemble dwarves upholding a single archway that is very ornate, and it has writing that I don't think any of you read across the threshold. Unless someone reads Dwarven.
I
Nope.
do, but
Oh.
I'm not there, am I?
Not yet, but yeah, Anu, you see, just as dawn is breaking, you're getting here. What do you do?
everybody else sleeping, or are they still up on top of the ship?
That's up to them.
Where's everybody at?
Where are you guys at?
Sleeping.
Okay.
Tempest likes to be out on the deck.
Okay.
So she's out on the deck doing something, running around, clinging to something upside down, doing her calisthenics, something.
Admittedly, Mask is probably also awake and like doing stretches and warm-up exercises because it's a pattern, it's a habit.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Nim is probably like, how early is it?
It's dawn.
Okay. Nim is slowly getting up.
Okay. All right. So you tell me when you want to come in on this scene from below deck.
Okay.
But that's what you've got to do. So.
All right. So I'm just gonna take a little rope and swing my way down, shouting, "Land ho!"
Excellent. It's about time.
So, eventually, when Nim, you come up on deck right around the time that archway sort of comes into view, and you can see that the archway says, "Peace be upon you should you bring peace, and if you bring otherwise, then the same."
Okay. Nim reads that in Dwarvish and then translates it for everyone, and then looks around and says, "We are bringing peace today, everyone. That seems like a warning more than, a welcome sign."
Yes, ma'am.
I'm peaceful.
I'm sure we can all be peaceful, if necessary.
And your ship pulls into the dock. There are no dwarves here to greet you. There are no workers. This place is not bustling. It looks abandoned. There are stacks of crates and barrels and all manner of evidence that this was once a bustling port. And now it's just not. As you come into this cavern, you see that the braziers, the torches, there is no light save from these hanging sort of basins that hold these glowing crystals that still give off light just sort of naturally. And that's when that memory sort of hits all of you that, oh yeah, SENITA said that this place was abandoned. It was lost to the Umber Horde. So what you are coming on is not, in fact, a bustling city with thriving trade, delicious dwarven cuisine, and all manner of spicy, savory, and fiery ales. What you are coming to is a dead place, a crypt, a dungeon.
A tomb. I don't know that we'll find peace here, or even that we can bring it.
But there's something that we need down there, right?
There is. It is the thing that enabled their escape and the rebirth of the Elder Tree. And I don't remember, Robin, who did SENITA share that piece of information with? It was one of the party, but I can't remember whom.
Oh, I feel like SENITA was talking the most to Tempest, so that feels right to me.
Okay. So, Tempest, you know that this place, in the heart of it, in the middle of it, deep, deep down, past all of their holy chambers and their catacombs and everything else, is a ruby phoenix egg. It is actually the last of the eggs that you need for your quest.
Well, we have to go down there. That is a rupee phoenix egg. I don't think there's any other way to get it besides just forging through.
Okay, so it's a little bit late to be planning, but since we're up here, a little bit of that couldn't hurt. I mean, we're going down, right? And if it's way down there, we're probably going to be fighting through a tide of them.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So-
I just noticed as well, Vera, you're supposed to be level 16.
Oh,
Yep, just so you know. Sorry, didn't mean
missed
to
that.
interrupt, Robin. I just noticed that.
I'm assuming that was like said after we wrapped up.
It
last
was,
time.
yeah.
Ah, well, I will work on that as we forage ahead.
Yeah.
Well, my thought is there's probably going to be a lot of groups of them. And if we had things that could damage like large areas, that might be good, but probably not explosives because underground it's not a good idea.
Yes, I've been underground before.
At this point, have we seen any like nothing living at this point, have we? Like
Make a perception roll.
I don't like the way you said that. 21.
21. So you do see something. And Robin, I apologize, by the way, for interrupting you so suddenly earlier. So, Marissa, Nim does see something. And you caught that there is actually multiple somethings. You don't know what they are. They do look large. Larger than a human. Not like a giant. They're not huge. But they are like the size of a bear. But what's interesting is they shamble and
Bear Cub.
you hear this almost like slurping, creeping sort of noise as the movement happens. And as you come further into this cave, you see there are what look like sickly, twisted, purpley blue vines just embedded in the rock. If you've ever seen like a wall of ivy, think that but ugly. There are thorns, there are briars, and the flowers even look almost menacing as they have what look like teeth-like appendages serrated around the edges of the petals.
Okay, so back to these shambling bear situations. Does Nim recognize any of these from previous exploits?
Not from previous exploits, no, but you can make an Arcana roll to see if you might have heard tell of them.
Okay.
It would make sense for Wisp to make this roll as well.
I was gonna say, what do you want me to roll for that?
And maybe Tempest. Masquerade and Anu,
16.
I'll let you choose if you have been well versed in the monsters of this world.
What skill would I be rolling this under?
Arcana?
Arcana.
I got 16.
16.
14.
Okay. 14.
26.
26. So, Nim, it comes to your head. These... When things change from the Umber Plague, from the corruption of Crom, depending on what sort of species they are determines what they turn into, right? Humans become zombies, elves become orcs, halflings become goblins, that sort of thing. Dwarves become what are called boggarts. These things are often associated with plants, which makes sense given that dwarven lore kind of revolves around trees and plants and the elder tree that they've always had at the center of their city that's like grafted with these crystals in it and whatnot. It's a very sacred sort of legend that dwarves hold in highest regard. Wisp,
Yes.
you know that it goes so much worse than this. You see, every dwarf in this world has a stone embedded in their body, in addition to their eyes, which look like they are made of essentially smoothed over gemstones. And when a dwarf becomes a boggart, their flesh, their muscles, everything sort of lacerates and transmutes into plant matter as they just sort of heap into these ever-growing vine monstrosities that are made of vines not dissimilar from those that are currently embedded everywhere in the walls around here and are currently choking this place out. You know that these vines sort of break and corrupt the stones, which are the being of a dwarf. And that stone is at the center of each one of these creatures. And you do know, because you got past a 25, that in order to beat one of these creatures, you have to break the stone in the middle.
Got it. I will disseminate that information.
All right, good. That's definitely something we needed to know. Thanks.
Well, I just
And
suppose my question is, how are we supposed to be peaceful under these circumstances? I would like to follow the directions that were on the archway, but I don't foresee this being a possibility.
Well, I feel like we can safely assume those instructions were put up pre the current situation, and were probably guidelines from the people who are not what they once were.
That's fair.
Also, if we bring them peace, we're coming with peace.
That's okay. Yes, I follow.
I don't know if that'll hold up in court, but we can try it.
I can spin it. You can definitely spin it. Anu will make them laugh hard enough that it spins it for her.
Does anyone know how these cities are laid out? How would we find... is the center really the center? Where should we go?
You heard that right, Wisp.
God damn it. Where did that come from?
Overhead. You are currently your boat is just sort of like drifting into the port at this point. You are well inside the cavern, and there are these like tiered ledges in this massive hollowed out dock for this city. And just as the boat sort of like pulls in and finally like stops, the ghosts just apparate onto the docks and begin tying off the boat. And Edmund comes to the main deck and says, "Well, I can't really go with you past here, but I wish all of you the best. Thank you so very much. And I will be here waiting for you. And if you die, well, and he just sort of hands each of you one of these tiny little black rocks. It looks almost like a lump of coal, but shinier. If you want, you can will it when you die, and you will teleport back here and be part of my crew."
That's cool. Thanks,
That's
Edmund.
very
Interesting.
sweet, Edmund. Nim hands him the cinnamon roll box and just said, "Hold on to this for me. I promise I'll be back."
Okay. And you see just like his mouth almost creaks as that needle teeth smile comes over him once again. And he just starts opening and closing the box and taking cinnamon rolls out and shoveling them into his mouth.
We gotta take that boy to a dentist. I can't handle his teeth anymore. Just, I'm done.
Edmund, you have
I've written that
been...
down.
Edmund, you have been a wonderful companion. Wonderful.
Well,
I remember when we first met and you thought, you know, that you couldn't be anything more, but you have been. You've been a companion, and I hope we see each other again. But if we don't, remember this. You always have choice.
Thank you. I will remember that. And he smiles. And it's like a genuine smile. Even though the needle teeth are still there, it's a warm smile nonetheless. I'm not going to lie. I just love that you guys, basically your entire theme is making people be better versions of themselves. So
we gotta try, right? We gotta try.
Including each other.
Yep. And so you guys are now at the docks. And the docks is one of 5 districts you will have to make it through before you reach the Holy Square, where you can then begin delving down to where you need to be.
I guess we go that way. You know, it occurs to me, silly of me, but it's just, I've been through so much, and yet I've forgotten that I dropped my sword a while back. A lot of things were on my mind, but now I don't have one. Here we are, going into the heart of it, and I don't have a sword with me.
I will get out the collapsible spear that I have and offer it to Tempest. I am just as dangerous with my bare hands as I am with a weapon.
Thank you. Hopefully we'll find something soon.
Hopefully.
And what are the stats for the collapsible spear? Just send it on over.
It's a
spear.
It's a spear.
Okay.
It is silvered, I think, right?
It is silvered, yes.
I was going to ask. Because if not, I have a silvered rapier I'm not currently using.
It is silvered. I have spells, and I am also at the level where my unarmed strikes count as magical attacks, so we're fine.
Yep. So, as you guys sort of make your way into this dock portion of the city, you realize that every building in this place is carved out of the stone of the mountain. It is just sort of like all connected. And all of the accents, because there are a great variety, not just of carved details, but of gem inlaid accents here in this portion of town. All of them here are of obsidian and black pearl, and in the very heart of the square of this particular district, there is a image of a dwarf whose eyes are inlaid with black opals.
Is this... I mean, this is normal, right? I mean, what is normal for here? I mean, it's normal dwarven sculpture?
Anyone who wants to can make a history check.
I will.
I'll do it. 19.
19.
29.
7. So, Nim, you
29, Stephen.
Oh, wow. So, Nim, you are very
History's
aware.
one of my broken skills.
That's valid. Nim, you're aware that the dwarves are divided into a caste system. This caste system is directly related to the color of the stone inlaid within them. So, and they go through the colors of the rainbow, with the chromatic dwarves being the highest, the nobility, that sort of thing. They have like the diamonds, the opals, all of the clear gems. Then you have the violet dwarves, who are like the scholars, the mages, all of that. You have blue next, who are the soldiers. Then you have the green, who are like the merchants and the vendors. You go down the list. Yellow, orange, red are the servant caste. And then there is a caste of colorless dwarves. Those who have had the color taken from them, they have a ritual that does this, that causes them and their lineages to become outcast. They essentially do not get to participate directly in society and are the paupers of the dwarven peoples. So this district would have the gems inlaid of the pauper caste, basically.
I convey that. Sorry.
Oh,
to
okay.
Tempest.
Wisp.
Tempest was the one that asked the question. Sorry.
Wisp, you know that the dwarves, in addition to their belief in a variety of pantheons, they have what are sort of like saints, each one embodying what a cast member should be of that given group. So you could gather pretty safely that this statue in the middle of the city with the opal black eyes, this one is probably meant to be the ideal of what a dwarf who is not part of a caste should be.
I'll relay that.
And
So, I think then at least to our understandings, the short answer to Tempest's question of is this atypical or is this normal is largely normal.
the only thing that's weird here is those vines that are just ever present everywhere, wrapping out of the windows, creeping up the walls and over the rooftops of these buildings that are built into the side of the mountain itself. This city, these districts are laid out like a labyrinth, like a maze, with each square being at kind of the center of the maze, and then you can go out from there to a variety of directions. This is very difficult to navigate. So, I'm going to need someone to make survival checks to see if you guys can navigate. And I'm going to need someone else to roll a d12 for me.
I nominate Nim for the survival checks.
I was gonna say
got that.
that's Nim's specialty.
Should we have someone scout the area from above?
So
Put some eyes.
it's not very easy to do that because these caverns are enclosed. Like, the labyrinth is not like you can fly over the wall and see the whole thing. It's more like the square is big and open, but like all of these labyrinthine tunnels are tunnels. So you're going to have to like climb the stairways to get to the different tunnels, and it's almost like a 4D chessboard of different places that you can go in a district. So they're not even all on the same level.
Okay.
But anyone who's trained in perception can make a perception roll as well.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do that.
Just to see what dangers may or may not be present.
6 + 9, 15.
15. Is anyone else rolling?
I am.
For
but
perception,
not trained.
no.
Okay.
I'll do one. We'll just see. We'll just see what happens.
Okay.
8.
With Wisp,
8.
I'm not even gonna bother.
27.
27.
There it is.
So, Tempest. Roll a d12 for me.
A D12.
Yes. Tell me what you get.
Let's see. Where is my D12? I don't normally roll here. Over there. All right. 7.
7. Okay. Pick high or low.
Low.
Okay. So, Tempest, you find a weaponsmith shop.
Really?
Yeah, this is actually, it seems that this person was able to make their living by exporting weapons. Now, and this is when, Wisp, your knowledge kind of comes into play about the culture. In the districts that are with the obsidian, the colorless caste, they could make livings by exporting things to other places, because dwarven wares are actually quite desired, even if not among dwarven kind, given who makes them. So you can gather that whoever had this shop probably exported their weapons, but you find a weapon shop.
Well, I have to investigate the weapon shop.
Okay, make an investigation roll. Don't get a 1.
Okay. Don't get a 1. All right. Well, I mean, who knows? But we have inspiration, so
Yep.
you know. Let's see. 15 plus 5 is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So you can find one weapon of your choice from the weapons list, and I want you to pick high or low for me.
High this time. We went low last time.
Okay. So what kind of weapon do you find? We'll start there.
Let's go with a maul.
A maul. Okay.
Great hammer, maul, whatever the two-handed hammer is.
All right. So you find a maul, and this maul is inlaid with runes that when you speak the word that belongs to this, it will activate the enchantment. That much you can tell just out the gate. You don't know what the word is, but you can determine that it will at least give off light. Anu, you got a much better roll. So I'm just going to tell you flat out, there is a boggart in this weapon shop that Tempest just entered. And there is another shambling around here somewhere. You can tell that because of the way the vines move and creep. And the fact that there are markings in the dust and the dirt of this stone floor that indicate that something with tentacle-like vines shambled through here previously. And you got higher than 25, right?
Yeah, I got a 27.
You also see footprints.
So, just Tempest went inside.
Mm-hmm.
I have hook shots, don't I?
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a way to like grab Tempest, pull Tempest back a little bit, and just go. Yeah. Would I need to roll something for that?
Yes.
What do I roll?
Stealth, because you want to do so without the hook shot making enough noise to trigger something knowing you're there.
Right, that is fair. Let's do stealth. That task manager did not work. My thing is still slow. That's fine. I'll take it. 29.
29. Yeah. Tempest, you find that all of a sudden this mechanical claw just kind of like grapples you from behind.
Mm-hmm.
And you recognize this is one of Anu's, and it starts reeling you back. Do you just go with it?
Yeah, I mean, I look over my shoulder, but I go with it.
Okay.
Because, her default when scared is to teleport anyway, so...
Okay.
There's plenty of time to be pulled backwards, and she could still teleport away.
Okay. So, Anu, what does Tempest see? Do you just pull in, or...
It's just kind of a quick wrap around and pull, and then
She stifles it as if she was going to say, hey.
and then I direct her attention to the footprints that I've noticed.
Okay.
Tempest just nods.
And
holds up her big new maul.
By the way, that is a +1 weapon.
Ooh, cool.
Yep. And I'm going to need a group stealth check. So we take the median for that one.
Cool.
No, you said a group stealth check?
Mm-hmm.
17.
27.
27. Ooh.
My bad. I rolled a D20. 30. I thought it was just a giant D20.
You have
It
a
was like-
D30?
Yeah.
That's hella cool.
Stealth. I'm not very stealthy. That's only a 12.
Okay.
I got a 21.
21.
Can't be good at everything.
What'd you get, Wisp? 8?
Yes, 8.
8. So that means your medium roll is 17. That is going to be a question.
I like that.
We don't like questions around here.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I don't like what you count.
Well, you're really not going to like this then. Because, Wisp, you feel a prick on your ankle.
Consent.
And that's when you notice that there is a vine about halfway up your shin at this point that is just snaked up it and wrapped around. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
I would like to remind everyone that because of Tempest, you have +6 to all of your saving throws.
Mm-hmm. This is a very hard saving throw to hit, too, so...
that
Hobbit
would make
knows
it-
what saving throw this is.
That would make it a 17.
Oh, that hits. Dang. So you start to feel your muscles sort of tense up a little bit, especially in your leg, and your leg goes numb for a little bit. But you kind of shake it off, and that's when the vine starts to snake up your leg much quicker. And it is initiative time, everyone.
Ugh.
So, yeah.
Okay. Initiative.
That
Let's
is an
let's
initiative.
let's initialize, people.
That is a 9 on initiative.
Dirty 20.
6.
15.
Okay, so
6.
I'm gonna call for them since that'll be a little easier for me. So 25 and up. Anybody? Nope. Okay, 20 to 25.
Dirty 20.
All right, so that would be Masquerade first.
I am re-rolling my initiative. That was a
Okay.
terrible roll. I can't beat that.
Okay.
The same thing again.
Okay.
8. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So then we have 15 to 20.
You have a negative initiative?
Anyone 15 to 20?
Oh, me.
Okay, so that will be a new, and then nobody got a 15 exactly, right?
No, I got a 15 exactly.
Oh, you go at the same time as these things. Fantastic. 10 to 15.
That's me.
Okay, so that is Tempest. All right, 5 to 10. Wisp. And did Marissa say you got an 8?
I got a 6.
You got a 6. Okay, so your Nim is under there. I added a new channel to our Discord, which is the initiative tracker. So that way we can keep track of things a little easier and you can see where you're at. You can see who's on deck and everything. So Masquerade, you're up first. You notice that there is a vine that has creeped out from the shadow around the corner of this building, and it has gone now up Wisp's thigh with just wrapping around them, and it is not it is very threatening. So what are you gonna do?
So the very first thing I do is manifest a blade of shadow as a bonus action.
Ooh!
Because it's dark in here and I can do
Uh-huh.
that now. And so it's like, you know, respectable Tonto length, not full on sword, but I'm gonna get over there and slash at that planty boy and see if I can get Wisp loose.
Okay, make an attack
Planty
roll.
boy.
All right. 16.
16 will hit.
Hey, you are fine.
I just posted
Oh,
that
I
too.
love the sound of a ton of d8s hitting the table. 12.
12. Okay, so you do 12 points of damage. So we've got minus 12. All right. That is going to be, next up, we have Anu. What are you doing, Anu? You see the vines on Wisp's leg.
Yeah. I'm going to shoot a firebolt at it with my crossbow.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Make that attack roll.
Let me see 1 second. Alright, AC is 17. 16.
16, yep.
I'm going to use an inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. 17.
17 hits.
Yay. Okay. Am I using my firebolt damage?
Yep.
Or am I using my crossbow damage?
Use your firebolt damage.
Alright, 3d10s.
And because this thing is engaged in melee, you can add sneak attack to your cantrip.
Fucking that broke ass rogue.
And that'll be really potent for this because you're going to learn with this, it's vulnerable to fire.
Aha. Bitches get stitches. Anyway. Nine, 6, 12. And then I don't even have 1 second.
I think we're just waiting on damage, but just so you know, Boggarts are next. So let's hope that this does something good against them.
Okay, that's 9. That's 13. 13 is 12. Is 25. 16, 17, 8. 30. Alright, so I rolled 30 damage.
Okay, double that. So that becomes 60. So you describe what happens as you take out more than half this thing's hit points in a single hit.
Ooh, this is going to be embellished. I'm going to pull out both crossbows. And like, what I would think, one that's definitely wrapped around Wisp, and then another one that's off, like before it can stretch out and wrap around again.
Okay, so as this thing starts shooting more vines toward Wisp, having been sundered from its connection due to Masquerade's attack, these multiple vines shoot out and Anu fires twin firebolts that catch the vines and whoom, they go up in a burst of flame. The thing then shambles and crawls out from around the corner of this building, and you see what looks like a skeleton of a dwarf sort of like off to the side of this thing, like it's almost being worn by a pile of writhing, roiling, thorny vines. And there is a very distinctive black shard that looks almost like it has pierced the chest, like the creature's been stabbed through, and that's when you realize, oh wait, that's the stone. That's the stone from this dwarf. And it is its turn, and it's going to start by using its regeneration.
Of course.
As you see the vines sort of like start closing back over and start like sprouting more vines, almost like a hydra head. And it gets 4 health back. That's not amazing. And then it is going to do... It's going to do the it's Vine Burst. Everyone needs to make a dex save.
Remember to add 6.
Yep.
Dex save.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
21.
21 makes it. What'd you get, Robin?
Oh,
31.
30. Holy
Thanks to
cow.
that D6.
Wow.
17.
17.
19.
19.
I rolled a 19 plus 8 is 27.
So, all of a sudden, the vines from the buildings around you start lashing out, trying to catch you. And you guys, in your own ways, just start dodging and avoiding. And no one gets caught by my stupid ability! So...
Sorry, dex saves are incredibly powerful. Most of the times,
Yeah.
armor class is worse than dex saves.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna use a legendary action here. These things get one legendary action. Let's use it. So, this creature is going to have all of the thorns begin as these pollen spores start just spewing in a cloud from everything. Everyone needs to make a Constitution saving throw now.
Oh, this is ugly.
I'm gonna re-roll that.
Mm-hmm. Not that I like to
18?
hear.
I am also going to re-roll that.
18 makes it. Dang, Nim is just like ready for
Does
this.
does 16 make it?
16 makes it.
16 makes it.
17 makes it.
24.
Absolutely.
I rolled a 3.
I'm looking at 11 total.
Masquerade, you fail. Okay.
You get so excited for that.
Masquerade, you just it happens that just as you're taking a breath, one of these vines right in your face, and it clouds your breath, and you guys watch as just from this puff where these pollinous spores got onto Mask, they start burning through Masquerade's mask in like these tiny, it's almost like these tiny little motes of flame just appearing, and like they start burning away at Masquerade. Masquerade, you take, I did not roll super well, 9 poison damage.
Okay.
And you have disadvantage on your next attack roll. So that is all they can do. That's all I can do. Guys, Tempest, it's your turn.
Okay. Tempest is going to smile and heft her her great maul, her huge hammer now,
Mm-hmm.
and she's going straight at the big thing, the big center of it. She's gonna hit its
Okay.
center mass with the maul.
Okay.
And it's going to burst into flame when it hits it.
Okay.
It should be a boom, but it's not a boom. It's definitely a fire bursting blade instead of
Okay.
a booming blade.
All right. Because she can twist
So-
that with her sorcerer spells.
Yes.
Or her sorcery points.
Okay, so that is a dirty 22 to hit.
That absolutely hits.
Okay, so now I do 2d6 plus 7, and then plus the booming blade damage, which is I think 3d8.
3d8.
Yeah, and then 1, 2. Okay, I'll have to. It's been a while. Oh, so there was, yeah. So actually, it's 5d8 because you want me to do all of it at the same time, right? The initial strike and then the extra damage.
Yep.
Okay. I don't have enough dice for this. Anyway, so the initial 2, that's
There it is.
11 plus 7, so it's a 18 damage first, just for the blade attack.
18 damage first. Okay, double that to 36 because it had fire damage in it, right?
Yes. Okay, you want to double that to 36.
So that is...
and then
so close, so close.
That's 10 13, so it's up to 23 and 2 more, 25. So that's 25 of the actual booming blade converted to fire damage.
Okay. Describe its gruesome demise for us, please.
Tempest runs forward, and the head of that axe just sprouts into flame, and she swings, and it's fire. It's supposed to act like fire, but it's not fire, because when that head hits the center mass of that dwarf, it just explodes out in a perfect ring, right?
Mm-hmm.
As if it was a sound, right? Like a drop of water on a lake.
Yeah.
And it just rips through all the plant material, right? And leaves, we'll just say that it mostly eradicates the plant material, but leaves anything that was dwarf behind.
Okay.
And so parts just kind of flop and fall after that.
All right. There's a dwarf skeleton there. And, feels like you won. But there's just this tension that's still going on. Wisp, you hear some sort of like slurping and shambling in the distance.
How far in the distance, and in what direction?
Make a perception roll.
I'm gonna re-roll that.
Okay.
So that is 13.
13. It's coming from inside the weapon shop where Tempest was.
No member of the party is currently in there, correct?
Correct.
Is the door open?
The door is open.
Cool. I'm throwing a fireball in there.
Okay. All right. I'm going to say it auto-fails its dex save because this thing is composed of the vines that are currently wrapping the whole building. So just go ahead and roll the damage.
All right. That is 30 damage on the die.
30. Okay, so it takes 60 damage. You guys hear this weird screeching howl, maybe? It's not bestial, it's not humanoid, it's something else. As it unleashes this terrifying cry, and it smells acrid that just pours from this shop. And you see vines start coming out of the windows very rapidly. Yes, Robin.
Are we still in initiative order?
We are still in initiative order.
Okay.
Nim, what are you doing?
Okay, so with this creature, it's not like capable of cognitive thought, really, or like any sort of. It's not.
No, this is an undead monstrosity.
Okay, so like, there's no amount of like insulting or it's not. Gonna...
They still have like if you wanna insult them, like use one of your abilities in that way, you can, because they did speak a language at one time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I think I would like to add some insult to injury.
Okay.
To that, we'll just call it a creature.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just gonna say, what's the matter? You can't take the heat, you stupid plant?
Okay, so it adds what to that damage then?
What did it say? Where did it go? Should cause the creature to take additional psychic damage equal to your charisma modifier. So, where's my modifier? I think that's just +3, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So it takes another 3 damage, And you just see that the vines just, when she says that, they just sort of like pause and coil back briefly and then start slurping through the window again.
Slurping.
Yes.
Ugh.
I don't like that word at all.
Me neither.
Masquerade, it's your turn. There are slurping vines.
I stabbed the gym.
Okay, let's see if you can see it. Make either investigation or perception, your choice. Masquerade?
23.
23. You see it, but it's inside the building. So you're going to have to, if you want to do this, I will let you do it, but you can choose. If you want, I will let you take disadvantage to make sure that you're not going to get retaliated against if you roll a 1, or you can risk it that if you roll a 1, I get to retaliate.
Have you met me?
I have met you, which is why I gave you the choice.
All right. Give me just enough rope to hang myself. What exactly am I doing here? You know what I'm doing.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So, an attack roll?
Mm-hmm.
I nat 20'd for a total of 28.
Okay.
What happened?
Okay. You describe it as grisly demise to us.
Yeah, I'm gonna like get this shadow blade in my hands, like up like it's a javelin, and I'm just gonna like throw it into the gym, like in between a couple of vines. It sticks in there, cracks real good, and then it just sort of like withers.
Ooh. And yeah. Now everything seems to have settled just a bit for the time being. And you do notice that each of these creatures does seem to have had a bag of assorted goods that they've had with them, because these people were planning on leaving when they got corrupted. So they had enough things on their backs that they were planning on taking with them. You can loot them if you want.
Yes, please.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for the first one, you find a total of only 20 gold pieces. You also find some stale rations that are probably not good anymore. And on the first one, you find a pair of bracers that look like they're made of filigreed metal. They have dwarven runes embossed on them. And it looks almost like they were set up to be put on at a later time when the person had time that they weren't fleeing. On the second one... Okay. The second one is interesting because when you reach into the bag, it is empty. But the bag itself seems to be of quite good quality, and the threading and stitching on it looks almost metallic in hue and sheen.
Do I know anything special about this bag just because of that metallic?
This
Would
bag,
this be of something I would have seen?
the bag looks a lot like your bag of holding. Just with dwarven design instead. You, anyone who wants to make an Arcana roll that's not super hard can find out about this.
31.
31. You know that for a bag of holding, if you turn it inside out, it empties everything. Otherwise, you got to think of what you're looking for, and it will appear to you.
Inside out it goes.
Okay, so the first thing you find on this person is you find several rations. You find 152 gold pieces.
Ooh.
You also find a suit of leather armor with studs in it that seems to be crafted with a degree of dwarven excellence that would allow for it to be more protective than your standard fair armor. It will be a little tight on anyone who's medium sized, but you can wear it. You also find 2 daggers, each with what looks like some sort of slotted compartment for a cylindrical cartridge. And you,
Poisonous
because you rolled
daggers.
so well, Wisp, I'm just going to tell you what everything in here is. You have 2 twin daggers of venom here in this bag with this person. You also find 1 vial of wyvern poison. Besides that, you find some painting supplies and an artist's kit, along with a canvas with a half-done work.
That's a shame. So, Steven, for stats on those daggers, is it the same as a standard dagger, but it just has the poison feature, or is it also plus in any way?
It is a dagger of venom. It's +1, and it is actually in D&D Beyond. These already exist.
All right. Well, I'm definitely taking one of those. Anybody else want the other one?
Sure, I'll take it. I'm actually
Okay.
more interested in the bag, though.
I'll toss the bag.
Thank you. Hey, Steven, how much water can you fit in a bag of holding?
Let me look at that. That is a great question that I should have foreseen you asking, just knowing what kind of players I have. Okay, so a bag of holding can hold up to 500 pounds or 64 cubic feet, whichever.
Okay.
is less.
Okay. I keep it on me with that in mind.
Okay.
We don't really have time for me to fill it up right now, but, maybe someday.
Yeah. So, yeah. I am going to need, as you guys continue, I'm going to need a survival roll to see if you get lost in this district or not.
I got you.
Do you have a light or a light source?
Well, the first question is, do we need a light source? How many of us
Well-
have dark vision?
I don't, but I
dark
have
vision.
dancing lights as a cantrip. That's kind of been my default.
Yeah. Okay. Because this place is dimly lit, with these glowing crystals that are housed in these almost like hanging braziers. But they really only dimly light the entire place because dwarves have dark vision. That's all they need, really, in order to get by. So if you want brighter light, you'll have to either summon it or use a torch or something.
Do we have, does anyone not have dark vision?
I don't.
I don't.
Okay. All right.
Only 2 of you do.
Only 2 of us do. Okay.
So I'm gonna summon some dancing lights.
Okay, so you don't make that roll at disadvantage, Nim.
But speaking of, can I encourage myself? Is that
That's not really how it's supposed to work, so I'm gonna say no.
okay? Well,
Come
then
on,
we
Nim.
we rolled a 12.
A
Better than
12.
me. I rolled an 8.
Okay. So as you're going through this labyrinth of tunnels, you climb a stairway because it seems to be the only way that's leading in the general direction you need to go to get further into the city, as opposed to just circling the outskirts. As you go, you notice that the vines have sort of interspersed now with more fleshy tendrils as well that are throbbing and pulsing almost like veins. And you see that occasionally these tiny little flowers with those tooth-like serrations sprout from this fleshy material. If you play BG3, it's almost like the fleshy material of the ship that you start in.
Don't love that.
This place makes it easy.
Makes what easy?
The violence. I was really hoping that I could turn over a new peaceful leaf, but not in this place. There's
We'll be here
nothing to
forever.
redeem here.
Not anymore.
One thing.
Mhm.
And that's what we're here for.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
And, Nim, I need you to pick high or low.
Hi.
All right. So as you are traversing through this increasingly acrid smelling tunnel, it opens up into a new district. This district is red, and it has red gemstones accentuated throughout it. The housing here seems better than the housing in the previous one. There are even a couple multi-level houses here. You actually come out onto a platform overlooking a big square that is surrounded by housing, and there is a dwarf whose eyes are red gemstones, and in one hand they hold a towel, and in the other hand they hold a bucket. And you see from your vantage point, there are 3 more of those strange vine-like creatures that are just patrolling or wandering, meandering through this square. You actually, with this stairway, you skip a portion of the tunnels that were other housing, and instead can just go directly into the square and navigate from there. So you actually got the best path. Good on you.
Yay!
Yeah, in the distance, you hear another door open. And that's it. What do you do?
Sounds like there's more of them.
What if we just burned our way to our destination? Do we see any issues with that plan? It just seems like it might be the easiest way. It's not very peaceful, but, it might work.
How would we do that, though? I mean, I can set something aflame, but we're talking about burning a city, right?
Yeah, well, there's gotta be some sort of fuel here. Some...
But also, we're burning it underground. We might have a hard time breathing.
I assumed there would be a flaw in my plan. It seemed too easy.
We should think about that on our way out.
Yes.
It is a good plan, just on the way out. A little cleansing fire.
Or a lot, whatever works.
Yes, a lot. Definitely a lot. Yeah, there's nothing to do but go forward, right?
Yeah.
Nothing to it. I mean, we can't...
How are you going forward? Are you going stealthily? Are you charging in? Are you trying something weird? You're on a platform overlooking the square. So, you have options.
I mean, we could just jump down. We could levitate down.
I mean,
Could fly down.
we could try stealthing it. Some of us aren't great at that, but we could try it.
Are you guys going to try to stealth and not encounter any of the boggarts?
I mean, we
can-
might as well try. Worst case scenario, we fail and we fight them, which
Okay.
we'll have to do if we just move forward anyways.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a
Attempt
group
is
stealth.
Hold on,
fate.
I'm assuming we're all rolling and you're doing the group
Mhm.
thingy. Okay.
Yep.
I would love to add guidance to anyone who needs guidance.
Who's got the lowest skill level in stealth?
Probably
My
me.
total is 27 for this roll, so just don't worry about me.
Okay. Nim,
Okay.
have a bardic inspiration,
Okay.
which is a D12
Okay.
bonus die.
Yeah, I get a +2 to my stealth, and that's about it. So maybe I should guidance myself.
Sure.
And I rolled 16.
16,
I got a 22.
22. Y'all are doing good so far.
24.
24! Holy cow!
That bardic inspiration helped a lot.
Yay!
Here we are with a 5 and a 7 on my rolls of even though I've got guidance. Oh no, wait a
Okay.
minute. That's not how it works.
You use.
I roll a d4.
Oh,
Well, so I'll use the lowest one, which is the 5 there. So I rolled 2 dice by accident. 6 plus 2, 7.
your median is 22 then.
So,
So, you guys sneak through this district. And I'm presuming you aren't looting anything because that would risk making more noise. Probably just going through, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
We're gonna be
mean-
straightforward.
You find.
Like, here's what I want to say, Bobby.
Okay.
It's that Wisp is not highly perceptive and it's not going out of their way to notice stuff. However,
Mm-hmm.
they have very high arcana, they have very high history. So if even in the course of stealthing, if something's gonna jump out to someone who would know this stuff, I feel like I should get a roll on either of those.
Okay, that's valid. So let me see if there is. Oh, all right. High or low?
Hi.
Okay. So, you guys are stealthing. You are 3/4 of the way through this district. You have not been noticed. And Wisp,
Yes.
that's when you see your eyes must be deceiving you. You see a tome, a filigreed, bound in metal tome, with jewels inlaid across it, just sitting in the street about 2 feet from one of these boggarts in the middle of the square. And you can make an Arcana or History check, your choice, to...
I get the same bonus on either one, so that's going to be a 24.
24. So, this book is a tome of clear thought.
Ooh. Ooh.
You say it's only a few feet from a boggart, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Is that boggart facing away from it?
It is.
Oh, give me a second, give me a second, give me a second.
And I'm just going to give Anu, because Anu has such a wild perception roll. And what is your passive perception, Tempest?
Passive perception is 19.
So both of you two, you, Anu and Tempest, noticed Wisp see this book.
I will go ahead and cast Greater Invisibility.
Okay,
Ooh, okay.
go ahead.
Greater, that lasts for a shorter amount of time, but you can take... Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Here I
So-
was going to say Mage Hand it over, you know? Just
I don't have Mage Hand. I didn't take that one.
Oh,
But believe it or not.
some of us do.
So, yoink.
Yoink. All right, make a stealth roll. You have advantage.
Yeah.
You also are favored by the gods if necessary.
That is a 15.
15. Oh, this might not make it. 'cause these
Oh, I
things are
mean
pretty
guidance. What I'm
perceptive.
thinking of Guidance is free.
Guidance added D4.
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to be the difference between if you
So-
succeed or fail.
17.
Meets beats. I think that's in your favor then. So you actually, as you place your fingers on this book, your invisible fingers, the thing roils, and you see this dwarven skeleton with like a shard jutting out of its eye. And this shard is red. And it turns, and you would swear that the skeleton was looking directly at you. And the thing just slurps away as it continues meandering around. And you lift the book without notice. But now, because you're away from the group, you have a choice. Yes. I will either let you make a stealth check to get back to them, or I will make everyone else do another group stealth check as you've reassembled the party. The choice is yours.
You know what? How about I just Misty Step over to them?
You can do that. If you do that, I will let you just avoid the roll and you succeed.
There we go.
All right. So you are among the party, and after a minute passes, you're visible again. You have the tome.
All right. Thank you so much for telling me that we leveled up. That's what you can thank for that.
Heck yeah.
I took Fey Touched as a feat.
There you go.
Ooh. Like it.
Well, I mean, you've been with Baba enough.
I know. I feel like I should have an honorary at the very least by now. Let's just make it official.
Fey Touch would be the ultimate feat for Tempest to take and deny.
Mm.
No, not an elf, not a fairy. Fey Touch. Oh!
Yeah, that would definitely work.
No, good choice. Good choice.
Okay, so you guys now have to make a survival check to determine if you go down the most efficient tunnel or the least. It's not like you're going to not be able to find your way. This place is a city. It's designed to be navigated through. The question is, are you going to find the most efficient route, or am I going to get more rolls to see if you encounter nasty things?
Nim?
I fixed it.
You
Yes.
fixed it.
Sorry, I was like toiling with my computer because my dice have been so slow, and I'm like Googling. I'm like, why is it? Anyway, I fixed it.
Hey, love that. Awesome.
So this is a survival roll. Whose survival roll is the worst and needs some guidance? Because
No,
I don't
it's just
think I can
Nim.
really cast guidance on everybody.
It's just Nim, because Nim is guiding everybody.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, right,
But-
we did say.
Mm-hmm. But everyone's
Okay,
putting
Nim.
their fate in her hands.
Right,
Take,
which is
take an
like,
extra D4.
sketchy. Oh, an extra D4?
An extra D4 to your survival check.
Okay. Hang on.
I love guidance.
Yeah, right.
15?
15. High or low?
Low.
All right. So, you guys are walking through this tunnel. Nim picks a tunnel that you really wouldn't have picked probably because it seems a little almost not like it's going to lead you down the most efficient route, but you take it. And you come out to another district. This one is orange. And you see it has like a lot of what looks like animal imagery, lots of statues with animals and flowers and plants. They're all made of stone, but they're carved very ornately here. And the stones inlaid everywhere are orange. And you realize that as you come out to a very similar overlook as you did before, you realize you're going down. You're going further down into this city. So you're kind of descending as you go. The problem here is that this particular platform that you would have been coming out to is crumbled away. And so in order to get onto the stairway to get into the square proper, which is devoid of any boggarts you can see, you will need to make an acrobatics check or an athletics roll to jump and navigate down these crumbled portions of stairway and keep your balance. Each of you will have to do this.
I mean, I'll just go ahead and do it. You said athletics or acrobatics?
Your choice.
Okay, are we doing this one at a time?
Yep.
Then I guidance every person before
Okay.
they do it. We're doing it one at a time. Everyone
You
gets
can
an
do
extra
that.
D4.
And that also means
who's-
Nim can encourage everybody but herself.
Who? And well, on that basis, then I'm going to go ahead and give Nim another bardic inspiration.
Which is a
D12.
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 Okay. Sorry.
And that's a 26 from me.
26.
As an athletics roll.
Describe as you navigate your way down this crumbled stairway where there are just entire portions missing as you get into the square.
Nim is practically dancing down this thing and landing so lightly that you can barely hear the clop of the hoof hitting the stone. It is balletic. It is show-offy. They saw an opportunity to just have a moment to themselves to dance, and they took it.
Love that. Love it. So, yeah. Wisp made it down. Who's next?
I got a 12.
A 12.
Unless we're getting, unless
Did-
you're saying Nim can.
Nim
I
can
can encourage.
reactively help you.
And did you roll the d4 for guidance as well?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Okay. I say, you got this, Anu. You can do it. Pretend it's a chandelier.
That's also a D4? Or.
That's +3, right, Steven?
Yep.
Oh. 15.
That's exactly what you needed.
Hey.
So Anu is just about, you think at one point Anu's about to fall, and you say that, and Anu grabs a vine as though it were a chandelier chain and swings to the next portion and manages to get safely to the bottom. Who's next?
Nim is inspired by Anu's movement, and I got a 24.
Okay, so describe how you get down.
So it's just a lot of like preparing, like, okay, and then kind of like swing this way, trying to get all the momentum going, and then there's a leap. It looks good for Nim, but like, it wouldn't look good for literally anybody else in the party.
Yeah.
So it's great. Nim lands does like almost rolls her ankle a little bit, but then like catches herself because she's just not used to doing that sort of stuff. But it's good. She makes it.
Okay. Who's next?
Is Tempest the last one?
I haven't gone yet. But I rolled a 23, so it's not going to be a problem, probably.
Okay, describe how Masquerade gets down this stairway that's crumbling and has segments missing.
Masquerade doesn't even step on the staircase. There is a bit of a ninja wall run going on. And you notice
Is that wait a minute, that
they had the option to pop out wings and just fly and didn't.
Love it.
wait? So there's a wall that Tempest just could have walked on.
Yeah.
Didn't have to do anything about these stairs.
Yeah,
Can I just avoid that and not have to roll to go down the stairs?
sure.
Okay, that's good.
All right, yeah. You do that.
She just walks up the wall and down on the other side.
Yep. You guys watch as Tempest just walks along this wall like it's nothing because she can do that. Very Spider-Man. Very Spider-Man.
five.
Very chic.
Got it. Thank you. That's good because I don't want to talk about how I already wasted an inspiration and wasn't going to make that roll.
Oh. So, you guys find yourselves in the heart of the orange square now. What do you do?
Don't we have something that's supposed to point us to this thing?
You do.
Who's got that?
Anu.
I thought
Wow.
Masquerade had it.
Oh, does Masquerade have it?
No,
Have what?
I could be wrong. The thing that's pointing to the was it a compass? Was it?
It's like a stone.
Yeah, it's a stone. Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
no, it's not me. I never remembered that.
Okay.
I
then
think
guess
it's
it is
Anu.
me. Yeah. Okay. Is it? Did I put it around my neck?
Uh-huh. I think so.
Alright, there it is. All right. I just pull that out. Just hold it.
Okay. It gives you a direction. So that will give Nim advantage on her next survival roll. But first, I need to see what happens in this square. Let's see. I haven't picked on
All these squares make a circle.
SENITA. High or low?
Let's see. I know you're supposed to go high when they go low, but I like to go lower because I'm a petty bitch.
Okay. So low?
Yes, let's go low.
So you guys find yourselves walking through this square, and in the middle of this particular square, you see in one hand this dwarf in the center with these amber orange eyes. You see that it carries a scythe, and then in the other hand it has a bow, and it wears a quiver of arrows on its back. The statue seems almost to be looking out and up, like it's looking out beyond the caverns of the city. You make your way about halfway through the square, and Anu and Tempest, who are trained in perception, see a small-sized shadow darting down alleyways between buildings.
It's moving quickly.
Quickly.
We haven't seen many things move quickly down here, have we?
No.
Most things shamble. There's something running around out there. Something small and fast. It doesn't seem like it's a boggin. Wait, but what are they called? Boggins?
Boggarts.
Boggarts. It doesn't seem like it's a boggart.
How far away is it?
It's about 75 feet.
35 feet. Can I perceive anything else? Like if I go darting, like anything that looks like it could be a trip a trap.
With a perception roll at disadvantage, you can see if you can notice anything about it.
Right. My mouse. Aw. 17.
17. You do notice it, in fact. It looks like a humanoid. But what's weird is, well, at first you thought, oh, this might be a child. You catch it. The enormous, huge orbicular eyes. And the very tiny, almost unnoticeable beak. You would recognize this to be a bird folk who resembles a burrowing owl.
Have we met this person before?
Nope.
Ah. That's Bud.
It's a what?
It's a bird.
A bird.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a bird, why isn't it flying?
Maybe its wings have been clipped.
Okay, and then how do you know it's a bird?
I have supervision.
You certainly do.
The entire party is your supervision. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
You think it's seen us?
Do I know this? Do I need to roll again?
You can't tell. Based on that single interaction, you just saw it briefly and you caught enough details to recognize that it is not a bogger, it is this other thing.
Okay.
Um.
You want me to go see if I could stealthily catch up to it?
If anyone can, you could, right?
I mean,
Don't ask me to go chasing after it. I'll make too much
you
noise.
teleport through walls and shadows, so you could also. But I'm just saying. I put the idea.
You know what? I wouldn't want to invade your territory on this. You're much better at this than me. You should go. Flit off, find it, and flit back.
I'll give my last bardic inspiration to Anu for good measure.
Okay.
$27.
27. So you dart off down an alleyway, and it's a totally different alleyway from the one that you saw this particular creature down. Because you're not going for where they were, you're going for where they're going. And within seconds, you find yourself rounding a corner and you are just ahead of them as they are running towards you. And he half stumbles over and falls on his face in front of you. Oh! That was not what I meant to do.
What did you mean to do?
You're not going to rob me, are you?
I have no need to rob an unknown individual.
You're not going to hurt me either?
Again, I don't know you enough to make that decision right now.
Oh, well then I meant to be very sneaky and watch you.
Oh, well. Gotta be better than that.
Clearly. You guys can hear talking coming from an alley just a few blocks over.
If only I could listen in on some kind of earring device, but Tempest doesn't have one.
You can hear it though, because you have really good perception. You can hear this
I didn't mean to roll
conversation.
that. My mouse gets stuck.
She's found someone.
Last
Someone's
time that
living down
happened,
here.
it didn't turn out too great.
Why are you watching? Why do you want to watch us?
Well, because you're going in. Nobody goes in here.
Why are you in here?
I'm in here because I was, invited isn't the right word, but it's a very close word.
I see. Oh. Okay.
And he like narrows his eyes to nearly closed as he's looking at you, and he's kind of sizing you up. What can he glean from just like trying to get a read on you? What are you giving off?
I'm giving off mischievous.
You seem like an impish sort.
I'm an elf.
No, I understand you're an elf. I didn't mistake you for being infernal. Oh no, I've interacted with plenty of those. No, I don't know. I want to trust you. Something tells me you're good people, but I've been wrong enough times that I'm wary.
Completely understandable. I guess depending on who you're talking to, we could be considered bad people.
His eyes get really open all of a sudden. Just these huge red orbicular eyes staring at you like, oh.
I mean, those guards at the torture prison definitely would probably consider us bad people because we don't
Torture! Torture! And he takes like a step back on his tiny little legs.
Anyway.
And he seems to roll an insight check, actually.
Insight. Oh, I'm good with that one too. 18.
18. He sort of like clutches his chest, but it's almost like he's trying to guard something he has on.
Would you like to meet my friends?
I don't know. Are they going to torture me?
No, we didn't do the torturing.
You might have led with that one.
Oh, where's the fun in that?
You are an impish sort. And he like kind of waddles alongside you, like he will go with you, but he's going to be just a little behind you.
I told you. It's a bird.
Hello.
How do
I
you
believe
always end
bird
up finding?
person.
How do you always end up finding interesting people, even when we're in the middle of nowhere?
It's a gift.
That's what fascinates me the most. So, do you live down here?
Oh, goodness, no. I'm just, visiting.
Okay, well, if you're visiting, then well, how long have you been down here?
I've been down here for about, and he sort of like pulls out his bag and starts counting these like empty paper wrappers. A week. I'm almost out of food.
Yeah, I would assume you would be. I assume you avoided all the plant dwarves out there.
Oh, yes, there's an entire network of very secret tunnels.
Oh. Can we make them not so secret?
Bobby.
Would you be okay with that?
Well, and he looks at all of you. I think you'll fit.
Oh! I'm gonna match him.
Okay. Oh my! That's very startling.
A lot of people have said that, but I'll definitely fit. I'm gonna like
Masquerade
turn
as-
my feathers a different color just for clarity's sake.
Okay.
Can I be gray?
Sure. He is actually like an orangey brown with like black speckles all over. He has these big red eyes. His face has like white that goes into his breast a little bit. And he's wearing just like a little vest with an overcoat and like a collared shirt underneath. And he has like these tiny little puffy pants. And he has like a variety of bags and packs and satchels just all over his body.
Yeah, I turn into him, but in night mode.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you're going to be coming with me, I suppose introductions are in order then. My name is Alistair.
Nice to meet you, Alistair. They call me Tempest. I point to Masquerade.
Masquerade.
That's your name?
Wisp.
Yes.
Oh my.
Can you see why?
I do.
Wisp.
Wisp. All of you have very interesting names, actually.
I'm Nim.
Nim. Why do you give me mom vibes?
Well, those are just my vibes, I suppose.
Those are good vibes to have.
I would give you a cinnamon roll, but I'm currently out. However, stick
I
around.
love cinnamon rolls. And you see this tiny little tongue just like slurp around his beak. I've had nothing but stale bread and rations for days.
That seems to be what we're headed for. Why are you down here, though?
You're looking for stale bread and rations? You can find that many places. You didn't need to come to an abandoned city full of monsters to get that.
True. Very true. But still, why are you down here?
Oh, I was sort of invited, called, brought here against my will. You know, something along that line.
Brought here against your will. Interesting. By some holy presence? Some compulsion of the mind?
Yes, that is very astute of you, actually. Yes, you see, I've been having these vivid dreams of a bird that I at first mistook for our almighty Sky Lord, but in fact was not that and was just made of fire. And every time I wake up, I am closer to here. And then I just woke up here a week ago, and every time I try to leave, I wake up when I sleep, and I'm back here again.
That sounds horribly inconvenient.
It is horribly inconvenient, really.
Yes. But it's possible that it actually is your sky god. There is a... if you're being called, then you should come with us. We too are being called in a way.
Oh. Well, that sounds very interesting. Sure. I suppose. I mean, you certainly seem pleasant enough. And if I'm going to die of starvation down here, I'd rather do it among friends.
That's
Yes. Let's try to not do that. The starving's bad.
Yes, it really is, and I'm very hungry. All I have left is stale bread and rations. It's all I've been eating. Did I mention that?
no. What have you been eating?
Stale bread and rations. It's terrible, really. And he starts, like, wadding up all of the paper wrappers into, like, a larger wad. And just stuffs it back into his bag.
Tempest takes the hint, reaches into one of her bags and tries to pull out an apple or something.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that.
Cool. Well, here's something to be friendly with. An apple. Would you like a bite?
His eyes just like, if this was an anime, his eyes would be sparkling, and that apple would have like lights just shining down from above, and he takes it and he looks at you. Are you sure?
Absolutely.
And he just crunches into it with tiny little beak, and it is astounding how quickly he downs this thing.
Don't make yourself sick now. Careful.
That was very kind of you. Thank you. That was the best thing I've had to eat in days. Only had stale bread and rations. It's really quite terrible.
That sounds quite terrible. Yes. You don't happen to know the way further down, do you?
I have a map.
Oh.
And he pulls out a map, and it has what looks like a metal band on it, and he unclasps it, and you realize the metal band is attached to the map, and it sort of unfurls with the map, and you see a crest, almost like a bird, emblazoned on this on the seal. And he opens it up to reveal that not only is this a detailed map of the city in its many levels and layers, but it also has schematics for a secret network of tunnels that were used during the escape from the city, actually. Which I'm sure Robin will remember because it all just kind of like is coming back together. And he just sort of hands it over to you. It's like, ever since this map came into my possession, it's been nothing but trouble. Nightmares for days. All from the Skylord. I don't think it's the Skylord. I think it's something else.
It could be the Skylord. Let's not discount that possibility. Well, who's good at reading maps?
Not me.
Anyone have cartographer's tools or anything like that?
Not today, I don't.
Don't think so.
I can cook, I can disguise, and I can
Nope.
steal.
Okay.
I've got calligrapher's tools.
No, but you do have survival, and survival works too.
Oh, okay. Do I need to roll a survival check?
No, you can just read this because you
Okay.
are proficient.
Tempest most assuredly did not touch that map.
Okay.
Just saying.
Valid.
Got enough emissaries of birds in her head, doesn't need more.
Mm-hmm. So, with this map, all of Nim's rolls are made at advantage now.
Yay!
Yay!
So, Nim, go ahead and give us that survival check. At advantage.
With guidance.
Okay, hang on. With advantage.
Mm-hmm.
With guidance. 22.
22. Okay. So, you guys navigate through these tunnels as you approach, or rather, I should say first, Alistair leads you to a large, sort of what looks like a statue, and he sort of waddles behind the statue. And behind the statue, there's a door. And this door is about dwarf size, and he opens it. And he walks inside and starts waddling down the tunnel.
And he waddled away, waddle.
Exactly. He waddled away. And Nim leads you with the map, explaining what passages to go down, where to take a turn. Alistair goes wrong a couple of times, and you realize, maybe part of it is he's not very good at reading maps. And eventually, you find your way into this massive open area. You open this tunnel door, and you come into what looks like a garden. But what was once a large garden with crystals grafted into the plants themselves has now become decrepit and choked away with these thorny vines, with these fleshy plants, with these enormous pulsating flowers with tooth-like serrations that actually have like what looks like neon green slime just dripping out and burning away holes underneath where they reside. You see that the statuary, the pillars, the buildings are all crumbled here. And you see char marks where fireballs were cast previously underneath the overgrowth of plants. You see, as you continue, this iconography of phoenixes and plants intermingled with one another. You see that a lot of the prominent imagery is from a red phoenix. You navigate your way into a room that has a pool that once contained crystal water, and a dead blackened tree that looks like it's composed of solidified, coagulated ash. The water is no longer water, but is instead this black ichor, and all of the crystals here are this neon vivid yellow that's sickly and grotesque, not at all the warm yellow that you would have expected from the yellow portion of the city. And there's a hole in the ground that leads to a root system beneath, where the roots of this dead tree are wrapped around a yellow crystal shard of enormous proportions. And that's when you hear the roar. And you see the slithering, fleshy, sort of slithering body as it starts to come up through this hole. And you see its petaled, four-parted mouth with these enormous teeth serrations and this pouring inky ichor just cascading from its mouth. Its barbed tongues sort of just standing there, floating menacingly. And you guys are facing the largest and most menacing Crom spawn you have ever seen in your lives. And that is where we are going to cut everything for tonight.
Of course.
No, thank you.
Of course.
So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This was an absolute blast. It is so awesome and such a privilege to tell wonderful stories with these great people. They are just the best storytellers, and they make so many great character choices. I love it. They circumvented half of the traps in nasty business with good rolls and finding the map and confronting the guy I didn't think they were going to find until toward the end. So that's how D&D goes, people. You know, things never go as you expected. So thank you all so much for watching. Of course, we post this on YouTube. So you can check it out over there and follow all these great people on the internet. Especially make sure you check out Council of Geeks and Vera Wild, because it's Vera's birthday coming up and we absolutely love her, and we think that you should absolutely check out their stuff. So until next time, everybody, whether it's on the page or at the table, tell your story your way. Bye.
Don't search for Vera Wild at work.